think we can all agree at this point that socks are clutch. Walking on the same socks for years and years in a row, and then you get in this period where every other pair of socks, there's a hole.
Yes.
And you gotta throw them away, and then you run out of socks, and then you're like, where did my socks go? Where's the sock thief? So yeah, socks are a great gift.
I will say that I want nice socks, though.
Oh, a little sock snob in here.
A little
Sock
bit.
snob in the house?
Yeah, I'm wearing a pair of socks right now, actually, that I got for Christmas last year, and I don't like these socks. I'm not
Show your feet. Show your feet.
They're just like...
No, I'm kidding. You don't have to. Okay. Those look like pretty good socks. Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome in. Welcome to another wonderful episode of Mustache Ride, episode 23 tonight. I'll be one of your co-hosts for this evening, Sure Man Cool. Alongside me is the great, the wonderful, the Dirty Tooth. Tooth, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. We got a late start to the stream tonight, but we got a big episode planned for everybody tonight. But before we get started, Tooth, I do want to ask your opinion on something really quick. And I think it's kind of a sleeper topic. I want to know what your opinion is on straws.
On straws?
Mm-hmm. Some people are like vehemently against using straws. They think it's like girly or something. I don't know.
I like using silicone straws.
Oh.
I like the bendiness of the silicone straw because you can put it in a bottle, you can put it in a can. I don't mind using straws at all.
Yeah.
But I typically don't use one because I like ice a lot. And so I'll actually take the ice out of the drink and like crunch it, like
oh yeah.
Like an annoying a-hole at a restaurant. But that's just what I like. So
well, I'm glad you're not against straws. I like straws. I grew up, my dad never liked straws, and so I always thought like, oh yeah, I don't need a straw, screw that. But now growing up, he had a mustache too, and I've got a mustache, and I see there's such a clear benefit for straws with mustachioed people.
My dad also didn't like straws.
Yeah, and you know what? To that I say, pshaw.
That must be like a toxic masculinity man thing.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. It ends with us. It ends with us, and we are here to promote straws. In fact, I have a brand of straw coming out specifically for mustached people.
It's sustainable.
Only for them.
It's sustainable. Mm-hmm. It doesn't kill turtles. It's a good straw brand that's coming out.
Yeah, so we'll have more about that at another time. But for now, we're so glad that you guys joined us tonight. Or later on YouTube, but we record this show live twice a month right here at twitch.tv/Mustache Ride Pod. And we would love it if you joined us like so many people do throughout the episode live. We love to get feedback live sometimes, and for certain segments, we need the feedback to know what we're going to do. And so we have a lot to talk about tonight. Enough lollygagging. We have our show and tell of our video portions of our darts essays. We're going to go over just a couple things about the Game Awards because we haven't had an episode since the Game Awards happened. And then we're also going to touch on our opinions on heavy subjects in chat. So that should be interesting. And then, of course, this is the episode right before Christmas. And so we're going to talk a little bit about Christmas and memories and jolly times. And so, Tooth, we can't do any of that before we get into our first segment here. You want to take us away?
I do. So the first segment, as always, but not forever maybe, is do they rock it or do they knock it? And so, of course, this is where we take mustaches and we put them on video game or pop culture characters, and we ask you to type in chat, rock it or knock it, or in the YouTube comments later on, because sometimes we don't agree with live chat, and they're wrong.
True.
Sometimes. And so we want you to comment on this video to tell us what you think of these video game characters with stashes, but sometimes without stashes. And that's one of those nights. These video game characters will not have stashes, and they previously have. So I'm going to get into it. With number one,
Number one.
we're going Bald Bull from Punch Out.
Whoa.
And so
Good one.
this is like a pixel game, right? So it's totally different vibe without the mustache.
It is. I can kind of see it in my head. I know that. Do you have another? Do you have the comparison by chance?
I do. Yeah, I gotta move you out of the way.
Oh, nice. I'm hiding him.
Yeah, you were hiding it, but there's the comparison. The comparison. Blah, 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 blah.
It's
Comparison.
a comparison.
It's a comparison theory. The comparison's down in the right hand corner. What he looks like with
Yeah.
a mustache.
Okay. Okay. I like that he has like the only messy, scruffy, facial hair is, I mean, his eyebrows, sure,
Yeah,
but those mutton chops, those sideburns, they really pop when he doesn't have a mustache.
yeah, it's kind of wild. It's I think the sideburns are pretty wild. I'm more concerned about his egg-shaped head, to be honest with you, than the mustache.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that's
What's
not
going on there?
It's not egghead segment tonight. So.
No. But for the record, definitely knock the head. I knock that head.
Yeah. Well, the main point of the game is to knock the head with your fist. So
Yeah, chances are I would get my head knocked. But
that's true. I'm gonna say that he has to have the mustache. The
I agree.
Mutton chops pop, but it's kind of weird.
It's not worth it. It's like with the eyebrows and the mutton chops, it's like the mustache really ties it all together,
Yeah, he's got to have it, right? Well,
Yeah.
perfect. I think Chad agrees with us. YouTube, maybe you don't, but I have a feeling
Let
you
us
might.
know. Yeah.
Number 2, we're going with Dr. Eggman from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh. Looks like he should be eating a carrot like Bugs Bunny.
Oh yeah, I should have photoshopped a carrot in there.
No.
Okay.
Well, look at that. That's just sad.
I actually feel like he's more villainy without the mustache.
I guess, I mean, if you look at the mustache, you look at it and you're like, I just want to kind of go up and give it a pet, like he's an animal.
Yeah,
But without it, it's just pure evil.
He sort of looks like the first rendition of the minion guy. What's the guy from the Minion movie, the villain guy?
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, the pointy nose, bald guy. G starts with a G. Maybe.
Oh, it's killing me.
He looks like that guy though.
I have to look it up.
Tell us.
Gru,
yeah. I feel
Felonious Gru.
I feel like this is the first rendition of Gru.
I can see that for sure.
Without the mustache, right?
He looks messed up, man.
I
mean,
I still have to go that he has to have it. To be honest with you, just removing the mustache feels so wrong. I feel wrong doing it.
It's just, I think the real point of this like Uno reverse style segments is that when you take a mustache off of something, it's wrong, but it's not always right to put a mustache on something.
Yeah.
And so I agree. I personally knock it. Get that mustache back on that guy.
Grow it out, my dude.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Number 3. Last but not least, Yosemite Sam.
Whoa. Look at him. He's just a dude, isn't he?
This is totally I just don't understand. It's something like the eyebrows like still go all the way around his eyeballs. So there's
that's wrong. That's ooh.
I feel dirty.
I will say he looks like he's green. You know what I mean? Like he just got his pistols. Or like he's still trying to earn his pistols.
He hasn't gone through his training fully yet.
Yeah, and so like he's not a seasoned cowboy yet. Wow, that's just kind of sad looking.
It is really sad. And I'm gonna have to say he needs it too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, they're
Honestly,
all
the
three.
eyebrows don't make sense. Those eyebrows are wild.
They are.
Look at that.
You don't really notice it with the when he has the mustache though.
Man, my mustache is like going up into my nose tonight. I'm dying.
It's trying to run away from the sight that it's
Yeah. It's
that it's
scared I'm going
seeing
to do
right
the
now.
same to it. Yeah.
All right,
Okay. Well,
perfect.
yeah,
I
speaking
mean,
for everybody here, I'm knocking it.
knock it. Yeah, I
Get out of town.
unfortunately I'm gonna keep doing this unless you send your submissions to me and smc at mustacheridepod@gmail.com. Send them to us. I'll put a mustache on them, and everything will be back to normal at that point, which I think people will like.
I know I will. I'm kind of done being horrified every other week.
It's pretty terrifying. Like some of them, like Mario it felt like a Mandela effect, like you're losing your mind. Like some of them are
Yeah.
so good without the mustache, but so
Mhm.
wrong, and it's like I don't know what life I'm in right now. Alternate
Mar-
universe.
Mario without a mustache is oddly like it works, like you said. It's another one of those. Same with Yosemite Sam. He looks just like a younger version. Like
Yeah.
he hasn't gotten his plumbing license yet. I don't know how it works.
One thing my Ice Ice Baby brought up the other day was Mario without a hat. Because you see it on some of the covers of Mario's games, like Odyssey. He has
Yeah.
the hat removed, and he has red hair, but a all black mustache.
He has red hair.
Yeah, it's like
I guess I
brownish
never
red.
noticed that.
Yeah,
I know
weird.
in Mario Odyssey you see him shirtless, which is kind of weird.
That's kind
You
of
see Mario's nipples.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
does he have two?
He's got two.
For some reason, I feel like he would have three. Right, crawling around in the sewers all the time.
Maybe. What I'm more surprised about is that. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know if he has a belly button, but
Doesn't everybody
I
have a
would.
belly button?
All humans do, but like, what is Mario a human? Does he have a belly button? Is he like a plumber from planet? The planet that Superman's from.
That's a good point. I guess I've never thought about that.
What's the planet called? Where's Superman from?
I only know that kryptonite hurts.
Kryptonite, but he's from. Oh man, I should know this.
I don't think I don't think I should. Where
Plumdern. No, Dan. It's Krypton. It's actually Krypton.
Krypton?
Wow.
How's he from Krypton? Doesn't kryptonite hurt him?
That's like if I was from planet Lava. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I guess I kind of am in a way. Think about that.
I'm from planet Earth.
Well, yeah, but
so
lava is just hot Earth. Think about that.
It's actually molten Earth. Think about that.
Molten is just hotness. Anyway, tell me what the heck you've been up to.
Oh man,
tell me what you've been up to over the past 2 weeks. What games you've been playing and advancements.
I quit gaming.
Life. Wow.
Cold
Congratulations.
Turkey. Thank you. Yeah.
Any withdrawals?
Nope.
Wow, that's impressive.
It is.
That's really good.
Just kidding. I did beat a game though. I beat The Evil Within. It was gross. Yes. It was trippy. But I would say that everybody that told me it's like a sleeper game. Like everybody thinks that it's an S tier game and people just sleep on it all the time. And I would agree. Like it doesn't, like it started out kind of slow, but towards the end, like it's another one of those like games where you don't know who to trust. Like you don't know what's happening. Like you don't know if it's real. You don't know if it's a dream. Yeah. And I even still at the end am not really sure kind of what happened.
Right.
All I do know is that I feel so bad for Sebastian.
Yeah.
And dude has so many concussions, injuries. There's no way he's alive for sure. So at some point, I'll have to play The Evil Within 2 to find out if I get any answers from it, I guess. But I beat it.
Well, I just
That's
want to
really
say,
exciting.
somebody needs to get my man Sebastian a totem, like from Inception,
Oh
that he
yeah,
can like do something and make sure he's like really in reality. Because oh man, that game goes places.
it does. It is really really trippy, especially the end of it. And it's, I
Mm.
mean, I was aggravated at some parts. Like there were some mechanics where like if you stop unarming a trap and then go back to it, it like moves you forward a little bit and then you explode. Like that happened to me a lot.
Huh?
But I finished the game pretty quickly, I would say. Around 15 hours,
Yeah,
59 minutes, and only had 55 deaths, which could be a record for me actually.
decent,
Not bad.
nice.
I've been playing Overwatch 2 still, trying to get out of, silver into gold and eventually into top 500 so I can become a pro gamer, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I also booted up Modern Warfare 2 the other night
Wow.
on my own accord.
How's
I
that?
actually felt pretty good. It didn't, I feel like the sort of hype from the beginning's over. So there's not a lot of like insane like spawn camper like hiding behind you kind of feel. Like it seems more fluid now. I think there's probably an update that happened since the first time that I played that has kind of smoothed it out a little bit.
Nice. That's
Yeah,
good. Felt a little better this time around. That's good.
I did. And I'm about to start God of War on Tuesday.
Now that's exciting. You've never
Yeah,
played God of
never
War,
played.
the 2018 remake.
Yeah,
Um,
I never have. I've seen a little bit of gameplay here and there. Zubat 5, I watched her play a little bit. But overall, I'm pretty spoiler free. And
Good.
I'm excited to try it out.
Did you ever play the old God of War games?
No, I've never played
No.
any of the God of War games.
I think it might be fun to even do with your chat, but maybe look up a synopsis or like a YouTube video that goes through the story of all the old ones. Because
Hmm.
you don't need any detailed info, but it'd be nice to know a few major things
Okay.
going into this God of War. Because just some culminating events occur that kind of like, oh, that it's all connected in a way.
Gotcha.
But ultimately, you don't have to. You could go into the reboot, the remake, without that knowledge. It's made specifically for that, for
Hmm.
that reason. But
Yeah.
I would recommend just, getting a synopsis or even play those older games because some of them are really good.
Yeah. I was looking at a couple of them and they seem pretty short. I might look up,
Yeah.
there's got to be a YouTube video out there like talking through all the lore of the beginning of God of War. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I'll do that before I start.
Well, good on you. And yeah, I'm excited for you to play that. I want to watch you play it because uh, it's it's so good.
I'm pretty stoked. I wish I could add 2 more days of streaming to the story game thing because there's so many games that I want to play through and so many games that people tell me about all the time. I'm like,
Hmm.
yeah, I would love to play that if I had more time to play it, but I
Yep,
don't. But you play a lot of games.
I
So
do.
what have you been playing?
Well, since last episode, I did finish. I don't know if I had mentioned this last episode. I think I finished between then and now Pokemon Scarlet.
Hmm.
Finally done with that, at least the main story. There's definitely some post game stuff that I could go back to, but I haven't.
Are you
But I
going
could
on
anytime I want
to
to.
Violet?
No,
No.
no. The wonderful my fiance Zubat 5. She took care of that.
Nice.
Um,
So you got all
she
the
she sent me all
exclusives.
the yeah, she sent me all the Pokemon I need. I'm not quite done with the Pokedex, but maybe I'll get to it one day. But I'm done with it for now. And that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Really, really had a good time. I always have fun streaming Pokemon with the viewers and stuff. So that was a great time. Right now, I'm playing High on Life. I'm streaming High on Life, just like everyone and their mom. Everyone's streaming it. It's
Right.
free. It's on Game Pass, so it's like, why
Rightfully
not,
so,
right?
though. It's so funny.
It's really funny. And there's some cameos of certain people, voices that you hear. There's a lot of different voice actors in the game.
Hmm.
And sorry, my dog's coming in. Okay.
What's up, dog?
Um But oh, by the way, probably pretty soon you guys are going to hear my dogs go ape shit because my fiance is going to come home from work. Just a warning, they're going to bark. You might hear them. Yeah. Anyway, High on Life, lots of different voices. I just this year I found the YouTuber Joel Haver, really
Mm,
good, makes skits and animations and things like that. And I heard his voice in High on Life in a lot
yeah.
of the skits on the commercials and the TVs and stuff, and some of the characters. And I was like, wow, what a coincidence, like personally, but then also what a treat because if
Yeah.
you don't know that YouTuber Joel Haver, look him up. Very very funny.
He's so good.
Yeah.
All the videos he makes are so good.
Yeah, all of it's like pretty much all of it's improv too, so
Yeah.
it's kind of cool. But yeah, and so High on Life has been a lot of fun. I'm not quite even halfway through it. I'm really taking my time. I'm trying to like anytime I hear a character talk, I'm trying to hear and play through all their dialogue because I'm just eating up this Justin Roiland dialogue. It's
Yeah.
so good. Yeah. The Squanch Games dialogue, I should say, the whole team. Also, what I've been playing, let's see, Rocket League, always. Um,
Every time.
yeah. Warhammer 40K Dark Tide, though, I'm playing that. It rocks. It's getting a little repetitive, in my opinion.
Hmm.
I haven't even gotten one character fully leveled up, and it's getting a little repetitive. So hopefully they'll come out with some DLC, some new mission types, and that'll be fun. But overall, it's still really fun. Having a great time with it.
Sounds
And then,
sounds
oh,
like a horde
sorry,
game.
a horde game? Yeah, pretty much.
That's what
Warhammer
uh,
40K Dark Tide is like a Left 4 Dead style kind of game.
yeah, I feel like I feel like I'm really excited when I see somebody play it and
Yeah.
then I play it and I'm like, this is boring
Yeah.
right
It's
away.
just it's just run through the level, kill all the monsters in your way, do a thing, and then go to the end and be done with it. And then you get stuff. And then you spend the stuff on more stuff, and then you go back into another very similar level. That's very simple. That's very simplified. There's different nuances to each type of level and stuff, and different difficulty levels, reward levels based on the difficulty. Um, Overall, I really like the loop, the gameplay loop.
Hmm.
But I do hope they come out with new content soon for Dark Tide. And then also, I wanted to mention that today I a while back I ordered some bumpers, some new bumper buttons for Xbox controllers because I have so many Xbox controllers because I play Rocket League. That not that I just like because I get tilted in Rocket League, I destroy them, but because I just grip my controller really hard,
Yeah.
and so I break bumper buttons. It's always the bumpers that go. And so I watched a single YouTube video, pulled out my special screwdriver, pulled it apart. I posted pictures in my Discord, but I fixed my controller. This controller has my name, Sherman Cool, on it, and I fixed it. I thought I'd never be able to use it again. It would just collect dust, but here I am using it again, and I did it. I fixed
Nice.
it myself. Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
I need to learn how to do that too because I have a Switch controller that I broke playing Mario Kart because I was drifting.
Yeah. That Tokyo drifting, you know what I mean?
But then somebody told
Hard
me
on.
you can use the trigger to drift. And I was like, I didn't know that. I've always
I
used the
guess that
bumper.
makes sense. Yeah. It wouldn't do anything different.
No,
I mean, it's no special extra gas button or anything.
not that I know of anyway.
No. But yeah, and then I fixed this controller, another controller, a green one, and then also I got a different set of bumpers as well for the original Xbox One Elite controller.
Hmm.
And I that one's been sitting around for a long time, and I fixed the bumpers and I can use it again now. I'm so stoked.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's just like it's been a long time coming that I do that. I've been wanting to do it because I don't want to buy new controllers if they're gonna break that easy.
Yeah.
So spend
It,
10, 15 bucks on extra bumpers. Pshaw.
and now you know. Now next
Hmm.
time you're like, my bumper's going bad. Now you just order them preemptively and take it apart live on
And if
stream.
you have Xbox controllers out there, um, Mustache Ride Pod at gmail.com, hit me up. you know, maybe we can work something out where you
We'll
pay
fix
me
them.
$75 and I'll fix it for you.
Yeah. And if you use
It's a really good deal.
if you use code Mustache in the next week, you get 5% off for Christmas.
5% off for Christmas. Yep, that's right. Don't just buy a new controller. You don't need to do that.
Don't do that. That's so wasteful.
Give me that money.
Yeah.
And I'll give you your same controller back.
Fixed and working.
Probably fixed, yeah. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm proud of myself, and that's all. And that's what we've been doing. And that's the end of that segment. And now we will be moving on to the next segment. You like that segue, Tooth?
I do. I like I like it when it's laid out like that. So then I know.
Yeah.
I don't like the really
Nobody-
smooth ones because I get confused. I'm like, wait, are we still talking about? I don't know what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
This isn't some labyrinth. I'm not David Bowie. We're not getting lost here. We are moving along at a good pace.
Next,
because we have a
please.
lot to get through tonight.
That's true.
This next segment, I'm really, really excited. This has been 2 episodes in the leading up to this. 2 episodes of Mustache Ride have led up to this moment. A visual component to our darts video script essay section. And so both the Dirty Tooth and I spent the last 2 weeks, sometime within the last 2 weeks, creating visual components to these essays. And yeah, we did our best. This is pretty new for us. Tooth, you were saying it's like pretty much the first time you've done a project like this, right?
This is my first ever long form piece of content because I've been scared to do it for so long. I'm actually I have a TikTok that I'm recording maybe later tonight about being nervous or scared or have anxiety about making long form content because I can make a TikTok. Like I can make a minute video, no problem. I can sit down, record it, wing it, like, and most of the time it's not that bad. Like I could use some work on my snappy editing and things like that, but I mean, for the most part, like I'm pretty happy all the time with them. But long form content is kind of a beast and it's scary. I do feel better now. I don't know how good it is, but I feel better.
Well, let's get into the what we learned and got out of this after the fact. Let's show off our hard work.
Who's going first? Heads or tails?
Should we rock paper? Oh, we can do heads or tails this time.
Heads or tails?
Yeah. I'll call it in the air. Okay. Heads.
Tails.
Okay. It's all you.
Okay. I'll go.
I'm so excited.
I'll go first. All right. Let me.
Gotta unmute the stream so I can hear it.
Yeah. Make sure that you can hear it. Everyone remembers how the battle royale. Can you hear it?
Yes.
How video games started, right? I'm gonna turn it up because it seems kind of low.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm gonna turn it down for me so I don't hear my own voice because I don't like that. Okay. Everyone remembers how the battle royale video game started, right? Wrong? Or maybe you did know. Well, I didn't, so here's my video about the then and now of battle royales. First, I want to go back to 1999, when Ninja was, well, no one. In 1999, Koshu Takemi wrote the novel Battle Royale, which would later be made into a movie with the same title, which sparked several Battle Royale-based animes and even visual narrative video games. Because these titles were mostly popular throughout Japan, these productions had very little bearing on American pop culture until The Hunger Games. The popularity of this franchise sparked the beginning of an era. Modded modes based on The Hunger Games were popping up across Minecraft, CSGO, Halo Forge, any game mode that players could create custom maps and gameplay. The excitement in battling to the end to be the only winner was taking the gaming world by storm. The power of this game type needed a ruler, the one mod to rule them all, arrived in the form of Arma 2's mode DayZ. This game mod gave you agency over how the game was played, and there were no rules, just survive the onslaught of zombies and the other players. However, for one gamer, this was not enough. He wanted to create a PvP experience of battling to the end, forcing combat through dropping in with nothing and scavenging for supplies and guns to be successful in your pursuit to come out on top. The new mode was DayZ Battle Royale, created by Player Unknown. After an attempt to port this mode to Arma 3, Player Unknown was hired as a consultant by Daybreak to help create the new game H1Z1 Battle Royale. The people gathered. Lots of people. H1Z1 was topping the viewer charts on Twitch and becoming a hit with gaming influencers. The next several years would be a chase to claim the top spot as a Battle Royale standalone game, with over a dozen titles trying to make their mark, but they were being shadowed. And in 2017, Bluehole released Player Unknown's Battleground, PUBG. That's right, none other than Player Unknown, Brandon Green, had finally become successful in helping create a standalone Battle Royale masterpiece. PUBG exploded within the gaming community, amassing $11 million in sales in just 3 days. Content creators all over the world were blown away by this game, and after only 9 months, it had broken the record for most concurrent players, 3 million. It was clear PUBG had created the GOAT of battle royales, with every FPS gamer out there hunting for the winner chicken dinner. What could happen to stop it? Fortnite Battle Royale. Fortnite entered the game via a different marketing strategy. While every Battle Royale game to date defaulted to the realistic shooter graphics that we had become so accustomed to, Fortnite took a new approach. It was the friendly nature of the cartoon world of Fortnite that made it so approachable as a game for all ages. This world was ever changing and was optimized to run on every platform, which is easy when the game is developed by the people who own the engine that the game was developed for. Epic Games had struck gold. With its ability to maintain an optimized game, they were and still are able to continually release new content for the maps. And did I mention the skins, the emotes, and its ability to partner with so much pop culture? From Marvel to Mr. Beast, it had made Fortnite an epic success. To date, it has brought in more than 200 million unique players and crushed concurrent viewer records totaling over 8.3 million. What? This success could not go unnoticed, and soon AAA studios had grabbed it, and it seemed that this money-making mode had become a quick cash-grabbing technique. This could have been the end for the Battle Royale game genre. Until Respawn Entertainment's EA-published Apex Legends released with the only marketing coming from the influence community, and the Battle Royale mode once again had taken the world by storm. And within 8 hours had over 1 million unique players, and by a month, 50 million unique players, earning $92 million. Apex Legends had taken all of the best things from the shooters and battle royales that we loved. Character abilities, smooth shooting and gameplay, player respawning through a collected banner system, and the communication ability of ping, and had created a legendary game that is still just as good today. Its lack of pre-release marketing and free-to-play models served to make it a success among AAA studio battle royales, when all the rest of them had failed to be successful in the market so far. But Tooth, what about Call of Duty Warzone? Sorry, I think it sucks, and I'm not going to mention it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Nice.
What do you think?
That was great.
Was
yes.
it?
Oh, you
Okay.
downplayed that. You way downplayed that.
I didn't think it was good.
Oh, well, you were wrong, my friend, because that was
Okay.
great.
Good.
That was awesome. I mean,
Thanks.
if I had to give any constructive criticism, in my opinion,
Yeah.
I think a little more music throughout in the background, maybe.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I mean, we're not here to critique each other too much. I think what's more important is that it's made.
It's there.
Done. You put all that together. That looks really cool.
Thanks. Yeah, it was long. I was like, oh god, like, because I had asked you, I was like, how long is yours? I was like, and then I was like, oh god, mine's
Yeah.
actually it's 4 minutes and 59 seconds long.
Not even 5 minutes.
Not even 5 minutes. So
that's still short.
It is short. But I was really nervous the whole time putting it together, and then I was like trying to add stuff in. But yeah, more music. I like that. I think
Yeah.
a couple more things would have been really good if I had, another. If I had another week, I'd probably only spend one more day on it, to be honest with you. But if I had like more time where I was like totally focused in, I
Yeah.
think I would feel pretty good about it.
Nice. Well, yeah, mine's definitely shorter, and mine's like quick and quick in, quick out. I didn't even put like or subscribe or anything like that, but I did it. It's done, and I'm excited to show you guys. Let's get to it. Oh, mine is the rise and fall of the Nintendo or the Sega Game Gear.
Nice. I'm excited.
What is it? No, it's not a Steam Deck. No, it's not the X6 handheld game player, 4-inch LCD display, double rocker 1500 classic game retro mini pocket game console MP3 video player that we all know and love. It's the Game Gear. The Game Gear was a later addition to the handheld console market, releasing in North America in 1991, but it was Sega's attempt to compete mainly against Nintendo's Game Boy, which released in 1989, and the Atari Lynx from 1990. In 91, the consumers were primed for more good handheld experiences, and there were a lot of good selling points that the Game Gear had over the competition. With a backlit, full-color screen capable of over 4,000 colors, a strong processor for the time, an ergonomic hand feel like that of the Sega Genesis controllers, and a weight and price point specifically designed to land between the Game Boy and the Atari Lynx, early 90s handheld gamers were interested, to say the least. Upon release in Japan, the Game Gear sold a decent amount at over 40,000 units after the first 2 days, 90,000 after the first 30, and over 600,000 backordered. With the device finally in the hands of the consumer, it was quickly discovered that Sega's grown-up, mature, cool game console, according to their marketing at the time, was not exactly what they expected. The Game Gear released with only 6 games available, including Columns, a poor copy of the popular Game Boy pack-in game Tetris. On top of this, the console required so much power to run the backlit full-color screen that the 6 AA batteries, needed only lasted around 3 to 5 hours of playtime, compared to the Game Boy's 30 plus. Over the coming years, the Nintendo Game Boy would dominate the handheld market, leaving few third-party developers available to develop games for the Game Gear, causing the quality of its game library to suffer. So, with its lackluster library, constant need for batteries, and little overall support from Sega, the Game Gear still sold surprisingly well at almost 11 million by 1996. However, compared with Nintendo's Game Boy selling over 60 million units by the same time, Sega deemed the Game Gear a failure. In 1996, Nintendo released the Game Boy Pocket, a smaller Game Boy alternative that only required 2 AAA batteries, putting the final nail in the coffin for Sega's Game Gear.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom.
See, I learned from Mr. Beast that for retention, you want to just cut off the video, end it.
Yeah.
No outro, no thanks for watching, no like and subscribe, just end it.
Yeah.
End it.
That makes sense. It does make sense. I tried to.
I also forgot.
I tried to end it as abruptly as possible, and then just plop those in while I was still halfway talking about what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Dude, I like it. It's a lot of information packed into that 2-minute range, which is nice. It fits it fits like TikTok, and it also fits YouTube. It can fit both of them.
That's what I noticed when I was listening to yours. Excuse me, is that there's a ton of information, and then at the end of it, you were like, yeah, 4 minutes 59 seconds, and I was like, that was actually a whole lot of information jam-packed in under 5 minutes. That's pretty good.
Every video that I watch that sort of walks through the same process is 27 minutes long.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was kind of happy to get to that 4 minute 59 second part.
Yeah,
yeah. We did it. We did it.
Yes. Well, we're not quite done yet. We still have one episode to go, because after tonight, I think probably tonight or maybe even just tomorrow morning, we're each going to post our videos on our respective channels, and we're going to come back next week and share the results.
Mm-hmm.
So super excited for that. But real quick, before we move on from this segment or anything, I do want to kind of get into what you learned going through this, because I know you were saying you're hesitant to kind of post and really spend time dialed in to make this happen. Real quick, what do you think was holding you back now that you have a little more insight to really focusing and taking that time to edit?
I honestly think that it was a lot of trying to make the perfect YouTube video. Like I kind of missed a lot of the early YouTube years.
Mhm.
And so I had a computer around like the E-bombs world time. So like the beginning of like, you know, like funny internet video meme culture.
Oh
And
yeah.
then I didn't have a computer when YouTube started. And so I kind of got into the YouTube era late. And so I've only seen like 4K 1080p polished videos. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm closer to the Mr. Beast YouTube era of watching videos like that. And so every time I watch one, I'm like, God, like I can't make anything like that. Like I sound dumb. Like I can't
Yeah.
edit things like that. And to be honest with you, I know like a good bit about Adobe Premiere because I've used it before, but not for this kind of content. And so I felt like none of my skills were relevant. I felt like I
Mm.
didn't know how to cut in and out very well. I didn't know the ins and outs of like YouTube. And
Yeah.
I think if it was posted somewhere else, like if I were posting it on TikTok, like a 3 minute long TikTok video, I would feel different about it because I don't feel like I have to get it perfect. But
Sure.
I always felt like if it's gonna go on YouTube, like it has to be a perfect thing.
It's like if you were to download TikTok right now, and
Yeah,
even right now, you might have a little bit more reservations to posting because since TikTok started to where it is now or whatever, all the quality bar has risen,
yeah,
and it's a similar kind of thing for TikTok. And so, but now I feel like maybe you're in a groove for TikTok, and you know what you want out of it.
yeah,
Whereas on YouTube, there's a ton of YouTubers that you look up to and that you know that you watch, and you're like, man, this is what I want, and you try to put it together, and it's not even close, and that can definitely hold you back. It's like, why would I bother posting it if it's not as good as what I'm trying to be?
yeah.
Um,
But
I felt that.
I feel a lot better about it now. I mean, I have like 39 subscribers on YouTube and no videos. Like it doesn't matter what I
That's
post,
great.
honestly. And I think that's what I have to think about. It's like the same way that I look at TikTok, where like I could pull up TikTok right now and record a video live while we're live right now talking about this podcast, and I would
Yeah,
post it. I wouldn't even look at it. I would just post it because it's just I feel comfortable doing that, and I need to get that way for YouTube because I feel like I
yeah.
could really crank out. Like I feel like I could do like, you know, like a Moist Critical Charlie approach where I could sit down and record a YouTube video winging it based on something that I like to talk about
One day,
one day.
I
And
feel
I'm
like
just
you got to
scared.
build those skills,
I'm
right?
just scared of doing it. And
Yeah,
I should just hit the record button a lot more often.
yeah. But I think this process is the perfect like exercise to kind of get those muscles moving,
Yeah.
to actually putting something together, finishing it up, and making a description, title, thumbnail,
Yeah.
posting it. That's the thing. That's what one thing that I thought about after the fact is that we did this whole visual component, but we don't have a thumbnail, and that's arguably pretty important. That's
That's
quite an
true.
important aspect of posting to YouTube or whatnot. And so, like, mine's definitely going to be posted to YouTube in a long form kind of style. I'm not even going to go to TikTok route.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm going to spend some time making a thumbnail. And I guess next episode we'll share all that too.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm excited to see the process. And also if
yeah,
I get a copyright strike. I'm excited to see that too.
right. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, your first video on your YouTube channel is going to be an experiment.
I mean, I think that's a good idea. I think it loosens me up a little bit because the first one's out there. I'm not
Yeah.
worried about it now. So like I'll throw some other videos together cuz I have tons of content. I have all my VODs saved to YouTube.
Hmm.
Like I have everything like ready to go. I just need to do it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
What about
That's one
you?
thing I found. When,
You're like a YouTube pro.
no,
Not
no.
maybe not posting videos, but I feel like your knowledge of YouTube is professional.
I am a professional, like you call yourself a professional Twitch viewer. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm a professional YouTube viewer. Um,
That counts
but
for
most,
something.
yeah, I think it does. I think there's a lot that you can learn from just watching. Like we were talking about, you have your favorite YouTubers that you watch and you want to emulate or you want to be like. I do as well, but I like a lot of different styles of YouTube. So it's not like I'm looking to one thing, but I do think that when I'm trying to make something, I can kind of feel I have a feeling of what works and what doesn't
Yeah,
because I've just seen so many videos and experienced so much different style of production. So yeah, I think that helps. But ultimately, if you don't sit down and do it, you're not going to actually be able to implement that knowledge. And
that's
that's
true.
something I learned for sure is sitting down and getting into a flow. I made that video. It's 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes 25 seconds, but I spent like 5 6 hours in one sitting just working on it. Maybe two sittings, but one
Yeah,
sitting was like a long chunk because I just
yeah,
got in that flow and I didn't want to break it because I didn't know if I could just sit back into that flow. And I because it was a flow of like learning what I needed to do and then doing the thing and then not having to look at what I learned, but just like redoing the thing, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. It
and
does.
so yeah, with that said, I learned a lot about just kind of like trucking through it. Because it's really uncomfortable to sit there and not know what you're doing
Yeah.
and feel like you have to Google something every 2 minutes.
Yes.
But at least for me, that's the process, and that's how I actually ended up learning. And I learned a few things. I learned how to do transitions better, and I learned kind of where I could find footage for certain things, like those old. I found old Game Boy and old Game Gear commercials, and I don't know if I'm gonna get struck for using them, but it was on some other random channel in a montage, and
Yeah.
I feel like it'll be fine. So whatever.
I'm not monetized.
Yeah, yeah,
I
for
mean,
real. I don't
what are you
care.
gonna do to me?
Yeah, sue me.
Sue me? Actually, don't do that. Don't sue me. I mean, I guess you could,
Sue
but
me.
you're not gonna get
I'll
anything.
ignore it.
To,
Yeah,
I won't even open the letter, to be honest with
yeah.
you.
Lock me up. I don't care.
So, do you feel now that do you feel any better about making more content, or do you feel more energized to do it?
Yes, but I think the number one thing that really like made it easier to start and keep going is direction.
Hmm.
And so like the fact that we did that initial step of throwing the dart, picking topics for each other, and then kind of like, a little bit of context, but mostly like now you figure it out. Having that like make a video on the rise and fall of the Game Gear and this is your deadline. Deadline too, that's a big one.
Yeah.
But make this video, this is your deadline. And then I had like a jumping off point. Whereas when I look at my VOD content on Twitch, it's hard to really look at that and be like, that's the video I want to make. Okay, let me cut. That's the
Yeah.
footage I need. And then how do I tell a story with that? Or how do
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have to I have to make the puzzle piece and put it into the puzzle. I don't know how to put it, but um, and so with that direction, it gave me that jumping off point where I feel like it really kind of lit a fire under me that this is kind of something I can do.
Yeah.
When it feels so futile when I look at my own content, uh, getting over myself and my voice and all my
Yes.
annoying quirks that I find annoying about myself. Uh, that's tough alone,
I
let alone trying
literally
to tell a story or something.
I literally edited out a part in my video because I just recorded all of it in one recording so I could just
Oh yeah.
clip it up. And I literally was like re-listening through there, scrubbing through, and I had a part where I just like went like this, shook my head and said, "Why do you say stupid stuff?" And I was like,
Yeah,
dude,
listening.
and listening to yourself be critical of yourself, you're like, "Dang, dude, chill out. Take a chill pill. Why are you so mean
Yeah,
to
true. Yeah.
yourself?"
I can't.
But really,
One
like,
thing
why do I say stupid stuff?
I mean, you don't realize it, but then
Yeah.
listening to it back, it just feels so cringe to be like, I didn't even realize I said it that way. What the
Yeah.
hell? I didn't say it that way. I said it
Yeah.
like a normal person.
I don't talk like that. I don't do
Yeah.
that.
Who messed with this
Yeah.
clip I just made? One thing I found when I was recording the audio. Now this is like when you're recording audio, you're in a room. You're probably alone. You and the mic, and so I found that things felt flat when I listened back to the audio, and
Mm.
so I tried to talk like an announcer, and I found that when I talked like an announcer, I would kind of make these like jerking motions, like to emphasize certain the ends of certain words and things, and I found it helped my voice come alive a little more within the
Yeah.
recording.
Yeah.
And so I think it's something to take note of. Like, you're alone. Do what you got to do to get the right sound, if it's
Yeah.
just audio. Because it felt good to kind of like move around and kind of talk with expression, even though I normally talk kind of like this, kind of normally. Um, I don't know. There's probably some filter you could slap on there to make the similar effect, but
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
kind of feel the same way because I don't really do well with scripted things like speeches, and I have a really poor like memorization memory.
Mm,
And so like I've done all through college. I went to some college for something where I had to stand up and do live presentations of my work. I never wrote down anything, not even a note to say what I needed to say because and other people would be like frantically like scribbling down like what they're going to say and I'd be like I did this project. Like what do I
yeah,
need to what do I need to write down? Like
I know all this stuff.
I know
Yeah.
all this stuff. And I feel like I need to like work on scripting in a way that's a little bit more natural for me. So I'm just like looking at it as a way to like build out my ideas and then I flow better and then my voice isn't flat reading something.
Yeah.
Because I kind of feel that same way.
Yeah, reading off a script, I don't know, you can always tell.
Yeah.
And when you can't tell, I don't like there's some long form content YouTubers where they're looking dead in the camera and they're monologuing for sentence after sentence. And I know there's teleprompters that go over the lens and you can't tell and things like that. But I think either people are really good at memorizing or there's some trick to it, but I don't know. I do think there's some sort of trick to like sounding natural when you're actually just reading.
Yeah,
Um,
there has to be. I mean
Adding
like
extra little words and
we're reading
things.
right now. So we script every episode. So I don't know why we have such a problem when we move to YouTube videos, right?
But the people weren't supposed to know.
Oh shit. Are we live? Oh, edit.
See,
This is a mark in the video to edit this out when it hits YouTube.
see, this is all in the script though too. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
We are professionals.
yeah.
It's weird.
Anyway, that was a fun segment. I really am proud of this segment, this journey we're going on
Me too.
together to create one piece of content.
Do you think we'll
This
do this
months
again?
long journey. Yeah, I'd be down to do it again.
Yeah.
Maybe not right away.
how do you think we could change it so it's not the same? You know what I mean?
I think we should sit down and really try to brainstorm more topics
Yeah.
and think about what we'd be interested in adding to the board.
Yeah.
And maybe take away some of the ones like I forget which one when I threw the
Yeah.
dart. It was like
It was
I had to change it up
it was
majorly. I'm sorry.
it was conceptual game art, but I fit it in there. Like I fit like the original thing in there based off like marketing techniques and stuff like that for the games. So
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like we need a little bit more work on our prompts.
Yeah. But it's definitely not something we're going to be doing again right away.
No.
But I'm not afraid to. But I do have we both have some other segment ideas that we want to implement. So
Yes.
same with Rocket or Knock It. Not a segment you'll be seeing for forever, but it's not going away just yet. But it will be gone one day, and we'll move on to another segment. Because we got some fun, creative stuff, and we'd love for chat engagement, more help from the chat with certain things, and hopefully we can come up with something fun to incentivize you guys to want to take part. And so, yeah, I think Tooth and I actually, real quick, impromptu topic. We've been talking about making a Discord, a Mustache Ride Discord, for all of
Yeah.
our viewers to join, our Mustache Ride community Discord.
Yeah.
And just kind of want to throw that out there live, recorded on the episode to hold us accountable and actually make one and
Yeah.
invite everybody to it.
I
So,
think that could be something that people see in the new year.
ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun to do a good amount of work and try to make it something fun for everybody to want to hang out in. And then we can post in there if we need some participation for certain segments. And hopefully people can chime in with it, you know, participation.
Absolutely. I think it's
Yeah.
a good idea.
Cool. Well, come the new year, I'm excited. But for now,
Quick,
we
before we move on
oh
though,
yeah,
tell the people what darts stood for.
darts stood for um dramatic um artistical renditions of um terrific uh scripts.
Yeah, that's what it was. Thanks.
Cool.
People were asking. So I
Yeah,
thought,
just in case anybody wasn't aware.
yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, moving on. Uh we also wanted to let you guys know this episode that Mustache Ride. Last episode we talked about doing AI port. We talked about the Lenza AI portraits and how you have to spend 10, 12 bucks to get 50 portraits. And we think that's ridiculous. And we have some credits in DALL-E, and so we're going to do our best to make use DALL-E to make portraits of each other. And so I'm going to try to make a tooth bust in DALL-E, and he's going to try to do the same for me within DALL-E. And then we're going to show each other and we're going to record it all. And it's going to be our first YouTube video on the Mustache Ride channel. And so we're hoping to get that out, hopefully before the next episode,
Yeah.
so we can kind of talk about it
I think so.
and all that.
I will say that I did spend the money and did it anyway.
Same.
Because
it turned out really good.
Because I'm a sucker.
Yeah. I actually love them. Most of them are great. Some of them, because in a lot of the photos I put into Lenza, my ears are covered and with my headphones. And so they don't know that I have tiny little ears.
Yeah.
And so some of the photos, I've got these big old Dumbo ears, and it's kind of hilarious. And I love those just as much as anything else. They're awesome. But I still think we can do better.
I think so too.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, that should be our first YouTube video on the Mustache Ride channel. So if you're not subscribed, go to youtube.com/@mustacheridepod and subscribe.
Please do that.
Now, I know a lot of people, a lot of our viewers may also stream as well. And something's come up recently on social media where people, someone brought up something heavy in someone's chat, and it kind of things went downhill from there, let's just say. But not getting into anything specific for that, I kind of wanted to talk more vaguely, more general about that kind of situation. What streamers should actually do in a situation like that. I feel like it should come natural, and it shouldn't be like a big deal. But what do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
To be honest with you, I don't really mind when people bring up stuff like that in chat, because I feel as if when somebody is coming into my community, like my go live thing used to be like, I want to be best friends with you. And that's sort of like not a lie. Like, I want to be friends with every single person, and I'm at the level right now and viewership right now where I actually can be. Like, I can message everybody that comes into my stream on Discord. I can play games with them throughout the week. Like, I'm at that level right now. But I was thinking about it, after we sort of talked about it being a topic, if I was at like a 1,000 plus concurrent and stuff like that were to happen, I started feeling about like, I would feel really bad that I couldn't like be friends with everyone, like with all of those people, right? You can't know everyone. Like
Yeah.
you can't get to know every single 1,000 person that comes into your chat, or even hundreds in some cases. And so
Let
it's
alone spend the time to actually like really get to the root of somebody's problem that they brought up in your chat.
yeah, so
Um,
like I would really
that,
feel bad about it.
yeah,
But going back to where I am now, I don't mind it, and I'm I'm pretty candid. Like I'm like this in real life. I mean, like we met, I felt like you were exactly like you are here, and I felt the same way about myself, is that like I say exactly what I feel and exactly what I mean. And then
yeah,
sometimes if something like serious happens and I don't know what to say, I'm like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. Like I have no idea what you could be going through right now," because I don't
yeah.
want to pretend that I do. But I feel like I would be a lot more genuine, and I feel like if you're not in the stream, you might be kind of a dick in real life.
Yeah, and that might be the problem, right? I mean,
Yeah,
maybe, and again, I don't want to be too specific with our example here, but if you know, you know. But with this example, I think the problem might have even been too much genuineness. And I mean, you could stand to be a little fake and act like you care a little bit, you know?
yeah,
That's as far as if you don't care, please try, for a second
a little
and
bit.
not, but my scenario, right? Vibes, got some vibey music, dancing, good times in the stream. Oh, I got a headshot. Sick. Oh, Dirty Tooth, what's up, man? I see you in my chat. Where have you been, bro? Oh, man, I tripped over a ladybug, broke my nose. Really sucks, dude. And now I'm in the hospital. Messaging you in your chat from the hospital. Okay, let's say I'm at 55, 60 concurrent viewers. I'm talking to other people and I see your reply. My response personally, well, I mean, you're a viewer that I really care about, that I know more personally.
Yeah.
But for anybody, I would kind of be like, "Oh my God." I would say,
Yeah,
I'm so sorry." And maybe I wouldn't dwell on it, but I would say, like, the point of streaming it for a lot of people is you're building a community,
yeah,
right? You're maybe inviting people to a Discord. You have kind of a meeting ground. You could say, "Hey, if you need to talk about it, or if you need someone to chat with, hit me up, hit up my DMs in Discord, or hit
yeah,
up, somebody else, one of the community people in the Discord, one of the other cool squad members, and chat about it. Let us know, and get things off your chest if you need to, no problem. But for now, hope you're doing well. I hope I can lift your spirits with some Rocket League. Glad to have you here. Boom. 20
that's
seconds and you're through.
that's the perfect reaction in my opinion. Like if you are a legitimate human being and you like are doing this out of the right reasons, which like just if you're doing it to make money, that's not a wrong reason, but you also are doing it to build something, I would hope, in
Yeah.
concurrent with your like wanting to make a bunch of money doing it. And so I agree. Like I think being like, "Oh man, I'm really sorry that that happened. Like feel free to like message me." Like I like that approach. Cuz that's the human kind of approach.
Yeah. And even, what if you try to move on and they bring it back up and they keep wanting to talk about it? What would you do if you say you responded what you felt was appropriate and they
Hmm.
keep trying to talk about it? What do you do?
Yeah, I think that's kind of tough. Like you don't want to you I feel like I would want to go about it in a way that um doesn't like write it off as like something automatically, but like I would want to like reiterate like, "Hey, like I want to talk to you about this when I have more time to focus on it." Um
Yeah.
and something like that, something along the lines like that, because it's I feel like you never really know anybody's mental state, to be honest with you. Like I've seen some pretty heavy
Yeah.
TikTok videos like talking about like, really really happy people, and then a place that they get to that's just like pretty bad. So I never know what anybody's going through, and I feel confident about that. Like I don't know what your mental state is right now. Even if you're
Yeah.
smiling, laughing, I really have no idea. And so like to say one thing that could trigger somebody into doing something bad is not something that I want to be a part of.
Yeah.
And I feel like recent events, like, that's pretty dicey. Like, to say something like that and just like pivot somebody into like a weird mental state that you have no idea. And hopefully it didn't
Yeah.
happen like that. It doesn't seem like it did, but I feel like I would be a little bit more human about it and be like, hey, like, I want to focus on that problem with you if you want to talk to me about it. So please,
Yeah.
please DM me.
Yeah, or even saying like, if you're not the type to want to take that on, I feel like it's even okay just saying like, hey, we got a good community here full of people that you've been here before.
Yeah.
Hit somebody up if you need to talk, but I really say, talk to family because that's really what you need to do, or you know, but I really think that leaning on the community in times like that is a really good idea because if it's a good community, at least I think there's love amongst the community, and you can kind of feed off of that a little bit, and use that and not have to take on so much responsibility yourself as the streamer, because it's not you're running the show, but it's not
Yeah.
just you there. There's more people to it, and that's part of why you're building a community, right? Not
Yeah.
just for people to be there to watch whatever you do, partly, I guess, but like to be there for each other, I think is a big one. But I think if there's so many people in chat, this is my response. I think if they keep bringing it up, and I kind of am trying to hint that I'm trying to move on, and maybe it's not the right thing to do, but I would probably, if I'm like 55, 60, lots of other people in chat, I would probably just not read their message aloud or not reply to their message, or maybe just prioritize other messages and give a shorter answer and just try to further show that I'm trying to distance myself from that and try to emphasize other chatters, which is unfortunate. It's kind of shoving them out. Not really though, because I
Yeah.
wanted to gave an outlet, but if they keep bringing it up, I don't also want to just call them out and say, hey, I don't want to talk about that right now.
Yeah.
I think I've done that before. I mean, I think it's natural to do that, but I think it's probably smarter just passive aggressively ignore them. I
Yeah.
don't know though.
Well,
I don't know what's better.
Yeah, I think that's like, if we're comparing it to something that we're not gonna mention,
Yeah. The worst
that's
case scenario.
the worst case scenario, then that's definitely a good approach, especially if you can make sure to, like, make note of it, write it down, and say like, hey, like, I read all your messages in chat like tonight. Like, I'm really sorry you're going through this, and you message them like later on, like if they're in your community, like if you really know that person, then I feel like that's a totally valid thing to do, is like move on, move past it, and just later acknowledge that it happened.
Yeah. But bottom line is try to just think before you act and consider other humans' feelings and talk to people like how you would want to be talked to.
Don't be
And
a
I think
jerk.
you'll be all good. Yeah. I think the way you put it, be a little more human about it is a good way to kind of think about it.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that like everybody deserves to be treated, with respect.
Respect. Dignity. Game Awards. Yeah, I'm glad we got that segment out of the way. I did want to mention it, but I don't want to dwell on it, but I do think there are good ways to go about sad downer subjects in your stream. And so we'll leave it at that and move on to the Game Awards. We haven't talked about this cuz last episode was like right before the Game Awards, and this episode is like a week and a half after the Game Awards. And so I didn't want to really dive too deep into this, but we did mention last episode that we both thought God of War Ragnarok would win Game of the Year.
I was confident.
Neither of us had played it at least all the way, and so we didn't know for sure. But what ended up happening, Tooth?
That didn't happen at all. I even taught, like, if other people came into my stream, like the other streamer friends that were streaming the Game Awards, and they were like, "No way!" And I was like, I was mad shit talking. I was like, dude, there's no possible way that it could not win. And then when it finally was announced, minus the sus stuff at the end, I was like, what? Like, what do you mean Elden Ring won? Nobody even plays that game. I've never even heard of it before. But it was really surprising that Elden Ring took it, but not undeserved. It was a deserved win in my opinion. For Elden Ring to take it, it's a good game. My thought process is that it was niche. Like it's a
Yeah.
punishing game. It's really punishing. And so I think that they played a couple things to their advantage, releasing a DLC really close to the Game Awards, kind of boosted up their gameplay. But overall, it was a beautifully made game, and I love watching people play it. I still am not going to play it because I just would die repeatedly.
Oh, you're a weenie.
I'm a weenie. Yeah, I'm a big
Hey, at least
weenie.
you can admit it.
Yeah.
You know? No, well, hey, I think you could do it. I think there's unlike other Souls games and stuff. Well, no, in a lot of Souls games, there's the ability to grind, and you can grind. And in Elden Ring, it's pretty easy to grind and get over leveled, where some boss battles and stuff are a lot easier. And so I think you could do it given enough time. Um, Personally, I still think Ragnarok maybe should have won, but Elden Ring is a gosh darn masterpiece. I played through that and I really enjoyed it too. It's beautiful. Art is beautiful. It's I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of From Software's style of storytelling
Mm.
because it's so obtuse. You know, there's not the information isn't given to you. It's like flipped to you under the table in a folded up piece of paper, and you have to unfold it and then translate the Spanish into English.
Yeah.
And then it's still like a riddle, and you have to depict what they're trying to say, or just figure out what they're trying to say. I don't know what the hell's going on in Elden Ring half the time.
It's tough.
And I knew what was going on in Ragnarok from what I played, and that's a big plus for me. But that's from old smooth brain Charlie over here. That's what they call me in high school.
Oh yeah.
Hmm. My name's Drew. I don't know why they would call me that.
Yeah, weird.
But yeah, so yeah, congrats to Elden Ring. That was awesome. And then
That was
a lot of
awesome.
other games and things happened. Stuff was announced. Personally, I chose one quick highlight that I wanted to talk about from the Game Awards. Armored Core 6: Fires of Rubicon was announced, and I'm an old school Armored Core fan. I played a couple of them on PlayStation 2 back in the day, and I really liked them. But modern From Software making an Armored Core game, that's pretty hype. I'm really excited to see what they do with it. With their, after all this time and all these other games that they've put out since the last Armored Core game. So I'm really excited for that. It looks really cool.
Yeah. There were a lot of really, really good game announcements there. A couple of the highlights that I like to see is that the most anticipated game was Legend of Zelda. And I was like going back and forth between those. Like when it came out, I was like, I'm really excited for Hogwarts Legacy. But Breath of the Wild was the first Zelda game that I ever played, and it was pretty insane. I was really excited for that. And then to see Ludwig win Creator of the Year
That's right.
after his switch to YouTube felt
Yeah.
good. Felt good for the for sort of the profession, if you will, of content creation.
Yeah.
I feel like it's in a step in the right direction of like, that I don't want to see streaming platform wars take away from people. And I think, Ludwig winning it is pretty solid. He's a good creator. I like him.
He's got a lot. He has a lot going on. A lot
Always.
of plates spinning
Yes.
at all times. Yes, and it's cool to see him win that. Big names in the streaming world, content creation world. So yeah. There was some good stuff from the Game Awards, especially. I mean, we got to mention. I guess everyone mentions it, but the troll at the end. It's been confirmed. He's a 15-year-old kid, 100% troll. There was no hidden meaning to the whole Bill Clinton reformed rabbi thing he literally just went from the crowd, like Ezio Auditore, just walking in with the From Software team, wearing all black just like them. Only thing is, he's 15 years old and not Japanese. Otherwise, he fit in really well, and
It
then he
was.
just said that,
I
and
have
it's
to be
just
honest.
pure
It was.
troll. I've heard interviews. I've seen TikToks where they're like, "Hey, Bill Clinton kid goes to my school." Like, I've seen it's it's just a troll, and it's hilarious. It's hysterical, but
It was
spooky as well.
It was smooth.
It
I
was.
I have to be honest with you. Like he was like it was like the last like 5 seconds before he actually got to the mic. He was looking really sus.
Mhm.
I went back and watched it and I was like, oh dude, that dude like somebody had to have noticed this, right? Like nobody noticed.
My eyes were on him the whole time.
It was
The
so
whole time.
weird.
As soon as they got up on stage, I was like, couldn't take my eyes off him because he was just like the odd man out. I couldn't figure out why he was there. He's so young, just didn't
Yeah.
make sense. And especially when the close up was on Miyazaki, and he like kind of goes on to like on into the camera, the side of the camera,
Yeah.
and then steps away. Man, I mean, I don't like that. I really
No.
hate that because I have a lot of respect for the Game Awards and Jeff Keighley and what they do. But boy, oh boy, uh,
It wouldn't be
that
a Game
happened, and
Awards
it's pretty
without
freaking hilarious.
it wouldn't be a Game Awards without something like this happening though. I feel like it
Yeah,
happens every year. I saw
something.
I saw a meme that was like that had like a face palm and it was like Jeff Keighley getting through an entire successful Game Awards just to be ruined in the last 10 seconds.
It was
And
almost
I
perfect.
feel bad for him because it was so good. The
Yeah,
performances were really good. Like the announcement of Diablo 4 coming out with Halsey in it was
yeah,
like so crazy. Like it was mind blowing. Like everything was really good, and then it just got totally derailed at the end.
yeah.
Um, and his face at the end, he was like livid, like you could tell.
He said, "Well, that anyway." Yeah, yeah. But overall success. I really like in my mind. I tried to ignore it,
Yeah,
but what can you do?
I forgot
You
about it
can't
already
help it.
until
Yeah.
we just brought it up.
But I did want to. Oh no, I guess I was just gonna mention because we're running out of time. But I wanted to ask
True.
you: did you notice that Xbox wasn't really present at the Game Awards and with the announcements and stuff? I sure did.
Yeah. Um, but I kind of thought that they would be.
Yeah,
Like I feel like they've gotten everything out already. Like they're like, "Hey, everything's delayed. These are the things that are coming out." I feel like it was a smart move on them
to not do anything.
to not go to the Game Awards and say, here's some mid gameplay from a game that's not ready yet because it's delayed. Here you go."
Yeah, I guess, and they're not nominated for anything either. I know
Yeah.
Phil Spencer was there, but it's just, I guess, everything we've heard what they have to say about everything that's upcoming, and the things that maybe we don't know about or haven't seen much of, like Machine Games working on Indiana Jones. What? Give me a CG trailer or something to get excited for.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just a little disappointed in Xbox in that regard, but
And I
I mean, I'm confident that they're going to make it up to us, early next year with some Xbox showcase, but you got to get the word out to other people, not just
oh yeah.
Xbox people.
And I wonder what was happening behind the scenes sort of also, you know what I mean? Like what like if there was any like there's a lot of tension right now between like Sony and Xbox, and I think like God of War, like a Sony exclusive being up there for game of the year, like I just feel like there was a lot of background politics probably in play also, and
Yeah.
they're trying to stay out of the limelight for a little while till they get everything figured out.
Yeah. Well, I'm confident that we'll see more from Xbox soon, but yeah, just a little weird, a little disappointed personally that they weren't there, but yeah, either way, it was a really really great show.
Yeah, I
Um,
enjoyed it.
last final topic before we end the show, because Tooth, Christmas is right around the corner, and we are
Merry
both
Christmas.
celebrators of the old timey Christmas celebration
Yeah.
holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what do you do for Christmas? Like, do you get up in the morning on Christmas Day, or are you one of those weird people that does the whole Christmas Day on Christmas Eve or something? Oh, what do you eat? Do you eat something special?
So it's sort of interesting. We've had some like folks that like come out of town, family that like as I was growing up. Um and so we would do a Christmas Eve thing at my grandma's where we would all get together, like aunts and uncles would buy presents for the kids and we would open them on Christmas Eve, and then on Christmas Day we would wake up early with my parents and we would open up presents there. But we would always have dinner the night before with my grandma, and at my grandma's and granddad's, and we had like a really strong tradition. I've been living away from my family for the past 7 years, so we've been coming in. Since I've been like in a relationship, we have more Christmas things to go to.
Right.
Uh, so I feel like there's those traditions, but in the past several years, it's been like a really hurried thing, especially coming in from out of town because we're like running to get around so we can get back because we got to work on Monday. Um,
Yeah.
or whatever day it is. We recently moved back. We talked about this in another episode, but that's going to change things a lot. Like we're going to have a lot more time. It already did for Thanksgiving. Um,
I bet that's nice.
it is. We used to have a pretty traditional like dinner at my grandma's, like the Christmas ham, turkey, Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
But in the past, I would say the past like 8 years or so, she's started making like weird stuff. Like we had pizza one year, like we had like stir fry and egg rolls at one point. Like I it's just
Christmas stir fry and egg rolls?
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
which is
Why
tasty.
not?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tasty. So there's been some of that like where we've had like weird things. But I'm excited to be back in town so I don't have to rush around like a maniac.
Yeah.
And then uh my wife and I says baby, we started doing like our own Christmas where we don't take presents anywhere for each other, like to a place. Like we open them on our own, like
Oh yeah.
where we are.
Good.
Because when we first got together, we like would take whatever we had for the person wherever we were going to like
I
open
see.
gifts somewhere. And then we decided like let's make it a little bit more personal. Let's open our gifts together.
That's
So
kind of interesting, huh?
I
You
like
don't really
that.
think about that. You
Yeah.
start having your own family Christmas instead of taking your Christmas to another family or
Yeah.
your own family, but like yeah, it's becoming your own small family Christmas. And that's
Yeah.
that's nice to hear.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Nice.
What about you?
Well, growing up, I did basically the same thing. It was grandma's house on Christmas Eve, and then, but it was like in the evening, and then we just all aunts and uncles and all that sharing gifts and stuff. But in the more recent years, haven't gone to grandma's house, haven't seen the extended family as much. It's more going to my wonderful fiance Zubat Five's family, going to my more immediate family, and then, like you guys do, we do our like Christmas Day morning, sharing presents with each other. Um, but yeah, it's a lot of traveling. It's a lot of going from family to family. Christmas Eve is a little more chill, and then Christmas Day is kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Used to do breakfast on Christmas Eve with Zubat Five's grandparents, but they moved away, so we might not do that. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but yeah, so there's a lot of change going on, but that's just how it goes.
It's
Um,
life.
Food wise, dinner, it's pretty much like Thanksgiving too.
Yeah.
Not very. The only tradition is like maybe ham or turkey. Still got the stuffing, green bean casserole, things like that. So pretty similar to Thanksgiving. But then there's like the smell of the pine tree and the Christmas under the presents under the Christmas tree and things
Yeah.
like that. It's not Thanksgiving. Um, and then yeah, seeing family and all that. It's really I'm actually my family. We used to see our whole big family, and then that kind of stopped. And now I feel really blessed to be able to go and see my fiance's family and their big, giant extended family. It's really nice to be able to be part of that as well because I really miss it from growing up.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. What are you hoping to get for Christmas this year?
I am since I've been an adult, I am really difficult to buy gifts for.
Yeah,
Um, I think that it's become a sort of a problem. Luckily, my size baby is very good at buying gifts. She gets very, very good things. I don't have anything anticipated really. And so it's sort of like it's one of those things where I put a bunch of stuff on an Amazon wish list, like if she wants to buy from there or whatever. But
that's smart.
she does a really good job of buying gifts. Not last year, but no, not 2021, but 20. Oh man, I can't remember when it was.
One of these
One
years,
of these
one of these
years,
past
she
years.
got a Switch, and it was a huge surprise. When I got my Switch, and I was like,
Wow.
what? Like what is happening? Um, but I got her something that she's been wanting. I'm not gonna say what it is.
You better
Um,
not.
but what if she's watching?
Better not.
But I'm excited to give that to her and sort of I like I'm not a big like I don't really like getting gifts or surprises that well. If I want something, I buy it because I work hard for my money and I'll use it to buy whatever I want.
I feel the same exact way. Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to buy gifts for myself. Wait,
I
I
already
mean, I
do.
kind of do. Yeah, I'm a really good gift shopper for myself.
Yes, yeah.
I get what I want every time.
Every now and then I get something that I regret, but not very often.
Oh yeah, like the headset I'm not wearing.
Yeah.
Um, but how are you for buying gifts for other people? Or do you think you're a pretty good gift giver?
Yeah, within reason. I sort of am uh I don't like buying gifts for like a ton of people. Um Ice Ice Baby is a very, very, very good gift giver, and she likes to do it. She likes to buy gifts for all sorts of people, her friends' kids, and her neighbor's second cousin removed, and all
How do
these
you come
different
up with
people.
all those ideas?
I don't know. I don't know how
Like,
she
how do
does it,
you think of something?
but she thinks about stuff all the time. And so she likes getting a bunch of presents for everybody. I like strategically getting presents because I like to get something that like reminds me of something.
Yeah.
Like I'll get something for my mom. Like for a while, it was kind of crazy, but for at least 4 years my mom wore the same exact sweatshirt on Christmas. And it was this like Christmas Coca-Cola like sweatshirt. And so I one year I bought her a new Coca-Cola sweatshirt for Christmas because I
Oh,
thought that was funny. And so I like doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like
that's smart. Yeah.
getting a gift or like doing something nice. But I feel like if I do it for too many people, like I can't focus on the people that I
Yeah.
want to get gifts for.
I tend to go too practical with my gifts. I
Mm,
tend to like I want something I want to get people things that they can use
good
that like
idea.
it'll like get into their daily routine. It'll be super useful and every time they use it they're like, "Man, what a good gift this was." You know, cuz I've had gifts like that and
Yeah.
they're awesome. It's like
Yeah.
that's just what I needed. I didn't even realize. I use it all the time. And that's a hard thing to think of. It's hard to think of something like that.
Yeah.
But and that's where I get wrapped up in a big mind meld of ideas and should I do this or that? I'll just not buy a gift instead. That's what I
What
end up doing.
what happens to me is I get fixated on buying something for someone, and then like last minute I see something else. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a way better idea, and I just buy that thing.
Oh, that's hey, at least you found it.
Yeah.
But then yeah, uh, another thing, especially for my fiance, I end up buying multiple gifts, and then I keep wanting to buy more things, and I want to
Mhm.
get her all the stuff.
Yes.
And so I have to cut myself off at a point. Sometimes I have too many good ideas. But socks, yes. Man on Night Mode in the chat says socks. I think we can all agree at this point that socks are clutch. Like
They are.
walking on the same socks for years and years in a row, and then you get in this period where every single time you pull out a pair of socks, you find some little hole. And like every other pair of socks, there's a hole.
Yes.
And you gotta like throw them away, and then you run out of socks, and then you're like, where did my socks go? Where's the sock thief? But yeah, so
I,
yeah, socks are a great gift.
I
I'll
will
take
s-
socks any
I,
day.
I will say that I want nice socks though.
Oh, a little sock snob in here.
A little
Sock
bit.
snob in the house?
Yeah, like
Okay.
I'm wearing a pair of socks right now actually that I got for Christmas last year and I don't like these socks. I'm not
Show
gonna
your feet. Show your feet.
they're just like
No, I'm kidding. You don't have to. Okay.
They're
Those look
just
like
black.
pretty good socks.
They're just black socks. They're normal. They're just normal
Yeah, I can't
socks.
tell.
But for a long time I was buying like I went to this shoe store and once a year I would get shoes, right? And because they wear out, whatever. And I would buy socks at the shoe store because they would have a deal on the socks. So I would buy Nike like crew
Ooh.
length socks. They're nice. I got
Mhm.
used to wearing the Nike crew length socks, and then I get socks from Target or Walmart or some other store, and they suck. They just
Yeah.
suck. They're not
Hanes.
Yeah, they're not bad, right? But they suck.
They don't get the job done. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not as comfy.
After laundry is done, I go straight for the Nikes or the Under Armour socks or whatever nice ones I have. And then I run out and I got to go with these dingy, loose, crappy socks. Yeah, I understand. So socks are always a good gift. Consider socks for your loved one this Christmas holiday. But yeah, well, that's kind of where that's where we stand on Christmas. I'm hoping to get some good stuff this year for Christmas, but I like you, I don't really have a list. I'm streaming stuff.
Yeah. I want a Sony
Game
A6000 and
stuff.
a 4000 series graphics card.
Yeah.
That's what I would ask Santa for.
Right. And that's, yeah, I don't know if Santa can afford that stuff.
I don't think he can.
But the elves can make it. So Santa, chop chop, okay?
Yeah.
Get to it. So yeah. But that's about it. I mean, I hope you have a good Christmas, Tooth.
Me too.
Viewers out there, I hope you guys all have a wonderful Christmas. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching live. If you watched live right here at twitch.tv/Mustache Ride Pod. And thank you for watching later. If you watch this later, if it's after Christmas, well, then you're watching this way after it came out, but that's okay too. This is episode 23. It'll be up on YouTube in like, I don't know, a week or so.
Tell us what you got for Christmas.
Oh yeah, tell us what you got for Christmas in the comments. Oh, that'll be a reason for everybody watching the episode now to rewatch it. We're guaranteed like 6 or 7 views on this YouTube video. So.
And you can't comment on it unless you rewatch the video. That's YouTube etiquette. Yeah. Just so you know.
Yeah. To understand, there's etiquette here that we have, okay? And so I think we should all understand the etiquette. And so etiquette is king. That's what they say. Etiquette is king. And if you don't know the etiquette, you know, on this episode, etiquette, okay?
Get out of here.
If you don't know the etiquette, okay? All right, we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.